Good evening, class. Mr. Watson. This is my video dissertation about the 7 key strategies that we're going to go over. The assignment was to choose a YouTube video. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my phone to record and kind of go through the video at the same time. It's a civilian video, Portsmouth Fire Department, that they recorded, and it shows a pretty good detail. Other than fire cam videos where you go inside, you can't see the incident commands version of anything, or just one side. So it shows all the key features. There's no radio, again because it's a civilian, but I can kind of walk through it, a couple things that I would do differently and what they did. But it covers everything. So we'll go ahead and begin. The link is attached above. You can turn the sound down if you want to watch along with the commentary. Because there's nothing to it. You can't even hear the guys while I walk through it. So hopefully this meets the criteria. So about 50 seconds in, you see the first engine on scene. It's engine 3 from the department, and what they do is they move to the C side or the B side of the structure, past the house. They get a good 360 view. And first on scene, what they're going to do is they're going to initiate fire attack along with a primary search. Now what happens is, as you can see, they did the 360 about 1 minute and 17 seconds in, and we have fire, visible fire from the B side, about the middle of the structure. So it appears to be wood frame construction. Heavy smoke showing from the A side as well, but the fire has already self-vented itself through the window there and is now lapping almost into the attic. Now that brings me to ventilation. The fire's already self-vented itself. Again, if this is just primarily that room, that coordinated fire attack with that ventilation might be sufficient. Again, I may want to start. They've already requested. They've already called for a working fire, so they're getting another complement. They're getting another engine, a ladder truck, a battalion chief, and so forth. So there are ladder trucks already coming. So what happens is here, I would take. I would probably move engine 3 up a little bit further, but they did, leave space for the ladder to the front of the house. And then I would protect my exposure that we have on the B side, because that's the only primary structure exposure in the video, is the exposure on the B side, B1. So exposure B1 there, I would have a 2.5-inch line, primarily for exposure purposes. And you can see about 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, you have heavy smoke and heavy fire coming out of that B side. So I would at least put a 2.5-inch line over there between those two, and provide either a water curtain or water down the house next door. Again, wind directions play another major key role in this fire, as the wind is coming off of that structure and blowing fire and smoke towards the B1 exposure as well. So now their interior already, again, they're doing a primary search and trying to locate the seat of the fire themselves. So confinement, they used 1 3/4 line, which was sufficient enough when they were on scene. You got just a little bit of flame visible coming off that B side. Smoke indicating the same. So they would have, your first line in would have probably been 1 3/4 line, 2-man crew along with primary search. So that's par for the course there. About 3 minutes 35 seconds into the fire, they have water on the fire, so it's confined, and now they're working on extinguishment. Again, single hand line is what they took in, 1 3/4. You can see it in the beginning of the video. And again, this fire was self-vented, so they didn't need to coordinate ventilation efforts that much with, with the ladder truck coming in, or the second due engine, which is coming up here in a minute, and they have their own little set of rolls there themselves. So about 4 minutes, it's almost out, extinguished to the B side of the building. So again, high and distance suspension, as you see, when they rolled up, they had that single car in the driveway, kind of blocking the ladder's main point of placement. Maybe talk with the homeowner there, maybe get that moved. But that's a side note, not really what we're dealing with today in studies. But so now we have heavy smoke conditions. Fire is out, contained. At least contained, not completely out. There'll be session for overhaul interment, which is coming, with heavy smoke proceeding from the A side, light smoke. So water is definitely on the fire. Fire is extinguishing out. About 4 minutes and 43 seconds now, we're into the video. The 1st Battalion Chief I believe, has arrived on scene, which means that they pass command, and the battalion is actually Battalion 1 will take command, and then their second due is coming on the scene. Oh, I'm sorry, that's going to be their heavy rescue. Their rescue 1. It's completely different up there, so you know they have their actual heavy rescues that are on scene, and they'll go ahead and help hand jack hose. As you scroll through the video here, engine 1 here, or engine 3, it's actually engine 3, but the first engine on scene, they're going to go start hand jacking hose to secure water supply. Again, they made a pretty good stop with, you know, probably how much water, probably 500 gallons is common, 1,000 if they did. So, and you can see there they have an uncharged 2.5 on the lawn at about 6 minutes in, and they're gearing up for ventilation as well as overhaul, and then the truck company gets on scene. Oh, I'm sorry, this primary crew right here is going in for secondary search. Fire is already extinguished. They're going to be setting up for secondary search of the house just to secure occupants, make sure no one's alive out there, or find China anything that of relative value. Not that the fire's under control, and they'll bring it out and go ahead and lay over salvage tarps and go to work there. You can see about 7 minutes and 25 seconds into this video. I'm hoping that's a captain. Up there, captains probably wear white helmets. I don't think it's a chief hand jack and hose there. But he's geared up, ready to go. Hand jack and hose back to engine 3 to supply water. And then you have another primary crew going in, and there you have them go ahead and do an overhaul. You can see they're checking for extension over their heads there in the doorway. So they'll be gearing up, and he's waiting for his partner there. So we've got confinement, extinguishment, overhaul, and salvage at the same time. Primarily they'll be doing overhaul, checking for extension, how they did that over his head there. So the only couple things, you know, differently that I see would be that main exposure protection. Just because you're fighting the fire from the unburned side, you're going to blow all that out anyways. And your truck is right there. You could supply, and there was actually a pretty good complement of members arriving on scene with that engine crew. There was 2, 4, 5. So there was 5, and then I saw the captain get out. So there's 6. There looked to be 6 complement of members on that truck, which is great. So ample personnel, maybe a 2.5-inch line, and you could have just rammed it there and then set it and forget it. So that's all I see. They have positive pressure ventilation. I know, again, the fire's already evacuated itself out the B side of the structure. So ventilation is probably just for clearing smoke, checking for flare-ups in that nature. A tick would come in handy here. So what they'll do is they'll take that positive pressure ventilation fan and they'll set it up at the front of the door there, just like we've learned. So every key management is strategy tactic here is covered. Engine or truck. The truck arrives on scene about 9 minutes and 17 seconds into this video. And they're the last complement to actually arrive on scene, and after you finish the video, you see them come up, and I'll scroll forward here for them. And they come up, and I'm sure command has told them that they'll be assisting with salvage and overhaul operations. Again, you have another battalion. It looks to be another battalion chief in the rear coming out of the corner there at 10 minutes and 38 seconds. So the fire is pretty much extinguished. That first due engine did a great stop on it. Pro job. And again, this video is the only video I can see from front to beginning to end with exposures. No known risks at all. There was nothing I searched for any searches, but they did a primary search while extinguishing. The room and contents what appeared to be fire that had self-vented itself and had fire a little lapping. So anything other than that, I wouldn't have done it any differently other than just protect that exposure on the B side. And they struck out. They get a kind of like we're similar here. If we call a working fire, we automatically get another alarm as soon as we call a working fire. So the same complement. Besides the ladder truck, we'll get ladder 2. So that was my dissertation of this. I covered everything from rescue, exposures, confinement, extinguishment, overhaul, and ventilation. I can't tend to tell you how much, and they're 12 minutes, 16 seconds, they're going to go search for extension in the attic. He's got his attic ladder there that the truckman just pulled off. So I can't tell you how much that just going through every video and made like, yep, this key point's this key point here. So it really is a great learning tool to remember this just going through the videos. I was like, yeah, this hits it out, doesn't hit this, there's no exposures, no confinement. So this video really entails and shows, you know, all 7 major categories there. So this is my video dissertation, and the link will be provided above. Thank you.